It's always nice to see everybody's faces.
Yes,
Happy
it
Monday, happy end of the month. I know everybody's super busy right now this time, so we're gonna keep our presentation short this evening. But most of you know that we're redoing the Success Cycle series and updating everything. So it'll be a part of the new series that'll be going up on the website. It'll be on the boards. And yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Scott, welcome. Hello, Lucy. Who else did just pop in? Erica, Allison, Bill, Linda. Welcome, welcome. Oh, these beautiful people. Okay, so let's get started. And tonight, just before I actually share my screen, this is as simple as this training is, it is probably the most important training of all, because it is the root foundation of your organization. I cannot stress this enough. Every market, and we've said that before in previous years as we were training doing these segments over the years. And as Tammy stated, we're redoing them with the new branding and everything else. You'll find them exactly where you found them before. You can access them in the board. As far as you're concerned, everything is the same, but when you access the files, it will just be the updated version. But as I was saying, the attitude training is really the foundation of building a solid organization that will last for the long term. When you set these protocol and you create an awareness around certain things that happens in network marketing, you'll find that it will serve you well, even though it may seem very simplistic over time, especially if it's duplicated, it will have an impact. So let me share my screen. Okay, share, and voila. So we're going to start with this training today. And the first thing I want to talk about is really your attitude when it comes. I know it may seem aggressive, but understand the meaning of this, what is your attitude towards network marketing? What is your attitude towards your success in this kind of business? What is your attitude when it comes to perseverance? Excuse my French, to be consistent and congruent in doing the activities, even though it may become monotone and boring. Boring is actually important, because when you duplicate a process that is repeated, it may be boring when you do them, but if it's duplicated within your organization, that's where the fortune is made. So it's important that as you are building this business, that you have a strong attitude. And what I mean by a strong attitude, you want to be bold, but you don't want to be overwhelming to the prospect and scaring the prospect away because of your boldness around the opportunity. But what I mean by this is when people come across with some objections, some negative, sometimes they may ghost you out. They may, you know what I mean? They may make you feel doubtful of this industry because of their behaviors. And often it's interesting because as Fraser was talking today about folks that are not responding to a tool, and often we second guess the tool, we second guess the opportunity because people are not responding in a way that we would like them to respond. But the reality is the tool is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, is to filter the folks that are coming in. And what is your attitude towards these situation as a whole? And this is what I mean by this slide is it's always to have a strong belief, because your belief will have a strong reflection on others when you talk about your opportunity, when you talk about your product, when you talk about the industry. Back to you, Tammy.
And your attitude is a choice. I mean, every single morning when we wake up in the morning, think about the thoughts that are going through your head. Are they serving you? Are they moving you towards your goal? Are they putting you into action? So that's one of the things that I do every single morning. I want to make sure that I set my mindset and my attitude right before my feet hit the ground. Because if you start off with a negative energy on whatever happened yesterday, or maybe you just didn't sleep well, and it can be a snowball effect on how it's going to affect your attitude, on how you show up in that day and the results that you're going to get at the end of the day. So always think about that. Imagine when you wake up in the morning, obviously gratitude is such a big thing. And however way you do gratitude, and just close your eyes and imagine those two doors. Are you going to go through the door of more abundance, feel great, great energy, meeting awesome people, slamming your social media today, getting some new contacts, new results? Or are you going to focus on that door because you were stuck yesterday? And that's the real message here, is what you focus on always expands, no matter what. Whatever you put energy to, you will get more of it. So if this is hitting home for you at all, then this is something that you really need to work on, and think about that image first thing in the morning. Your feet don't touch the ground until you know how your day is going to show up. That's when you hit the ground.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I mean, it's interesting because I just did a little video on my personal profile on Facebook today, which will end up on our Instagram and so forth. And it was really in line with exactly what you're saying, right? Is what you surround yourself with, who you choose to listen to, what you choose to read, what you choose to watch, what you choose to focus your attention. And the fact is, this is something I really appreciate from Robert, is the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for jobs. So no wonder when you go out there and you start prospecting and you start sharing the opportunity and you get so many people that are resistant, it is because they are not thinking like rich people. They are thinking like consumers. I have a job, I put my time, I get paid, and then I want to go home and watch my Netflix or Prime or whatever else is out there. So the fact here is that this is difference, is the mindset, how people who have money thinks, and the folks that they don't necessarily have money. It's a way of thinking. You know, belief in network marketing and in the profession itself is absolutely critical to have success. And we're going to suggest some books at the end as we finish this session, this training segment. And I highly recommend you pick a few of them. And they're all very good books. I recommend to read every one of them. I'm going to recommend. In fact, these are some of the foundation books that we've read over the years, especially in the early years as we started in this business. So it's important is, what is your attitude towards a network marketing arena? And if your attitude is not strong, you need to educate yourself in the process, because this industry will actually set people free. And I don't mean just money. I mean mindset, the way you're thinking. You will grow, you will evolve, you become a different person. This is what network marketing has done for me. I remember I was a very insecure person in the past. It's still there, but it's under discipline, because I know better, because I've read and I've applied and I've read again and I've applied, and this went through several cycles. And eventually you become kind of numb to the negativity and the folks that they tend to hide behind a wall when it comes to being an entrepreneur. They fear the fear of failure. And when you start realizing that failure is only a step closer to success, unless you stop trying, then failure becomes a non-issue, because you only fail if you stop trying. So the thing is, having a right attitude in this business is absolutely critical. And and there's so many books, documentation available to help you with that.
And I think what's really, really important is network marketing is about service. And if people join our profession and all they're in for is to make the money, they're going to be in and out pretty quick, or you're going to see them jumping from deal to deal to deal to deal to deal. But when you come from the heart and you genuinely care about people, then those are the ones that are going to really build a massive organization, a team that's going to be so solid that nothing can break them. And you'll know that, because you'll have people that will come in and they'll go out. They'll come in and go out. Always say, let it go. and just focus on the ones that are there that genuinely care about serving people. And, you know, the moment you sign somebody up in the business, I always say you're the first person, you're the most important person when you sign up in this business, because you're new, you're alone. Obviously, you have the person who brought you in, you don't know anybody, and it's about you. But the moment you sign your first person, it's no longer about you. It's about the people that you serve. You should always be looking down to see who you can serve and help them get over some hurdles that they might have in getting started with their business. Help them set some initial goals. Help them work on their strategy plan. So these are the things that are really, really important. And when you build that bond, it's like a family. We're a family. I mean, every single one of you that I see right now on the platform, and I'm sure the ones that are on Facebook Live, I can't see you right now, but I know that we have special bonds with all of you. And I know that we have been to your city, we've been to your country, and our passion is about service. Our book is about breaking the cycle of poverty. It's about service. It's about helping people get out of situations that they're stuck in. But of course, they have to truly want to get out of that situation. So work from your heart, also your mind, but work from your heart, and you'll build a very, very strong foundation, which is critical in our profession.
And the one thing, Tammy, I think it's important to mention that you want to work with your heart, but you want to also have a balance with your mind, because sometimes people's belief will keep them where they are. And you can't put yourself in a guilt trip if someone is not willing to do the steps that you are going to be teaching, right? People have to make the decision to cross over, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind as we are, as you are evolving and building your business and supporting and mentoring people. Yeah. This next, go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, you can't drag anybody across the finish line. Yeah, it has to be their finish line, but you're there to support them. Absolutely.
Yeah. The next step is the attitude of righteousness. And this, it's like any business, right? Network marketing, it's such a beautiful environment of purity. But in the same time, like people can do good things and bad things with anything, right? I don't want to use the word gun because maybe that's not a right example, but there's good sides and a bad side to everything we do in life, right? So integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is looking, right? We know that things happens. We know things happen. Some of you went through some situations. I know we have been through many situations over the years. So, but never lose sight of righteousness, doing the right thing, even though it might be tempting to cut the corner and to maybe kind of speed up to a level to increase your check this month. But there might be a huge price to do things out of integrity. And it's not just about doing things in integrity and out of integrity, but it's also as simple as if you tell someone you're going to do something. For example, you're doing through the process of, let's say, prospecting. Soon we're going to be starting these trainings, which I hope that all of you will be there with your entire team, because these are what we call the money-making activities, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. But as you are going through these stages, if you tell someone you're going to be calling tomorrow at a certain time, you call at that time. Right? Excuses are wonderful, but it doesn't change the results. You still miss the appointment. So even if you know you're not going to be there or something is happening, send a text, make the phone call, make a connection at the time you say you would be reaching out to this person. This is really, really important, because a lot of time people will actually start measuring you as a leader and even your integrity based on the things you say you will do. And if you always miss the target, it will eventually impact your credibility as a leader, and that will come in as a price eventually as you start building your business with your organization. Critical, critical, critical. Make sure you stay the course, but you follow through on the things you're going to do, or you said that you're going to do.
Teamwork and respect, very, very important. Yeah, and that whether it's the company, the upline, the downline, the crossline, the sideline, we are one family. We have a mission and a purpose on taking our Max products into every single household that there is out there. So I truly believe in supporting and helping, regardless whether people are even in our organization. And our goal is to help people. So when you have that attitude and that heart centered mindset and work ethic, then it's going to be an easy job. So yeah, when you make it about people, it's easy. When you make it about yourself, it's never easy. Never easy. So we always have that one dream, one vision, one team, one mission, and that is to go to the top together. And I always say, don't leave people behind, but they have to make the choice whether they want to be left behind. And some people do, and it's okay if they catch up later, because not everybody's willing to do the work today. Some people, they have important things that they have in their lives, and they can always come back and jump in. But one thing that I've learned over the years, it is hard to get back on when you get on and you're off. And then you get on and then you're off, and on and off and on and off. It's so hard to take off into momentum when you carry that. You're better off doing a slower pace, but being consistent. You know, if you say you're going to work 4 days a week, 3 hours a day, whatever it is, you're consistent doing that. And that's what's important. So teamwork, respect, just serve, and you'll see that you'll grow a huge organization over time.
Yeah, and you know, it's really interesting because over the years, it's really interesting, but you can actually see based on the leader that is leading this team, the behavior of the rest of the team. And it's very important that respect is always maintained. And I cannot stress this enough, because it will support you and elevate you over time, or it can actually work against you, especially the bad talking and you know what I'm talking about, right? It's always very, very critical to stay on a positive note and always look up and always edify, even though you may not be necessarily in agreement with that person. Moving on to this one is the right attitude in reference to seeking guidance from your mentor, from your sponsor. This is really important. You know, I find in this business, the Lone Rangers, you guys know what I mean by the Lone Rangers, right? They just go and on their own. Everything is on their own. And you will find that they won't have that environment of team support and gratitude and synergy that occurs in an area where the teams are all working together. See, one of the things that I love about this group here, and I know that many of you are on Facebook, I know Venus, you're here, and maybe a few others, really appreciate, because all you guys represent that exactly, right? And you're very supportive of each other. And this is really important. You work together, you team together, you present together. You're not all in the same team, but you work as one. And that is absolutely critical. So the fact here is, as a mentor, the role is really to help you improve, not do the work for you, right? We want to help you succeed. We want to guide you to proper trainings, but you got to show up for class. Where many of you are showing up here this evening, you got to make sure your downlines are showing up for class. You got to do the workshop. And it's important to also seek leadership. You know, there's some very powerful leaders in your organization. Maybe they just have a silent voice, but they have the skills. It's there. It's just dormant, right? And we want to elevate that. We want to recognize that through motivation and inspiration. So that's where the whole cycle of having the right attitude towards mentorship. And it's important that when you seek mentorship, it's not, what have you done for me lately? You're my upline. That doesn't work well. That doesn't resonate well. But the fact is, showing gratitude and showing appreciation, you'll find that people will do 10 times as much for you when you do that. So again, just food for thought. So very, very important is the right attitude regarding mentoring, because remember that you are also a mentor to the people you bring on board to your business.
Absolutely. Adjust versus react. This is a good one. So your attitude is your key to success. We all face challenges, and how we handle them is the key. I'm sure that some of you are on social media and just having a heck of a time. But I'm telling you, we all get it. And there's this 90-day challenge that's going on right now. And some of the people in the group have more experience than others on social media. We're always challenged every single day to do different things that are out of our comfort zone. So it's a matter of adjusting versus reacting on not knowing how to do it. Is to take that step forward. Just give it a shot, give it a try. Don't be afraid to ask for, more experienced people, some questions. YouTube, I mean, that's our best friend when you have challenges to learn something. Just go to YouTube. You're going to learn a ton of stuff, but it's not to react. And I think that's got to be the biggest thing for anybody in any business. If you want to succeed in business and in life, it's how you show up that will determine the results that you're going to get, your end result. So show up. I always adjust, because nothing's ever the same. Nothing ever stays the same. The last 3 years has been such a huge shift for everybody, for every company. And we've all experienced it ourselves, and we've all seen it happen out there in the world. So these are great examples for us to learn from. Is not to freak out, is to sit back and evaluate and find ways to be better, to better handle situations so that you can be better at the end of the day. Yeah.
If there's one example for this, is 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, moving on to 2024. Adjust versus react. There's a lot to freak out about, right? We know what happened on our ATP. Some freaked out, and some were standing as a leader, right? Explaining and sharing, and there's things that happens. So you can react or you can adjust. And I'm telling you, there's a lot to react about. But for example, I was just having a conversation with our CEO this morning, planning for events for North America and the entire world, to be honest with you, when it comes to events. And I was talking about, Joe, we're too quiet. It's too quiet. Max, it's just too quiet. We need to make some noise. And he completely agreed. And we started discussing some ideas on things that we want to implement to make a lot of noise, starting in February, in March, in April, in May, and June. Excuse me. And see, what I'm trying to tell you is we are adjusting versus reacting to scenarios. Sometimes corporate is so busy putting out fires and dealing with the economy and exchange and everything else, inflation, that sometimes they forget some of the important little things. But when we team up and work together to adjust, that's when things come up. And so great ideas were actually shared today. Then you guys are going to see the recipient of that. So the thing is, that's why, Tammy, I needed to spend a bit of time on that, because it's such an important aspect, right? And the fact here is that life at any time can be very difficult. It could be very easy, right? But a good or bad, there's seasons of life, right? And the fact is, how you choose to react to it or adjust to it, these are just seasons. That's all it is. And I assure you, in fact, I promise you, we're going to be way back up at the top, like really probably 100 times bigger than what we were. Because in my mind, I believe so, but not just I believe so, the traces are there. The signs are there. So the fact here is you have to always be in a position to understand that there's bad weather, and sometimes it won't last just a weekend. It may last a year, but the fact is, it's your attitude. When there's good leadership, it doesn't matter how bad the weather gets. You get through it if there's good leadership. And that's the message here. That's why the attitude training is so critical and so important. Back to you, Tammy.
and to keep learning and always reevaluating your business. I like to sit down and do this on a regular basis. I get really serious about it at the end of the year. And, every 3 months, sit down and evaluate what's going on in your business so that you know where you need to improve, what needs to be done, and who needs to have some extra support. You can see all of this as you look into your virtual office, and as you see the team grows, where you spend your efforts. But reading is critical, and scheduling. You've got the scheduling on there as well. So some of the books, I know, Chris, you changed a few of the books, but we've read a lot of books from the beginning. And we've spent years reading. I mean, we have so many books. Sometimes, I don't know if you've ever done that, where you just literally open the book, not at the first page. And do you ever notice that when you opened that book into whatever page or chapter that was, it was the exact message you needed that day? Does it ever happen to you? It happens to me often. So pick up a book. Sometimes I get that we're super busy. Just do something like that if that's what it takes, or grab a book if you want to read it all the way through. You can do that, but make sure you always have books around you so you can grab this. And what's really great is content. One of the things that everybody's searching for, well, I don't know what to post, so I'm not posting anything. What a great way to get lots of awesome content. And we're learning so much on different apps that are available, that you could ask questions with the AI, and you can get answers, so you can give people 4 tips. Well, 7 habits of highly effective people. You could give people a couple of habits that they can do on a daily basis to improve where they are in their life, like just things like that. So you got some really great books there as well. And of course, your scheduling. This has got to be key. I believe that the reason people are not where they want to be in their businesses is because they don't have a plan in front of them. They don't
totally
have
agree.
a plan. They're not putting all what you need to avoid, what do you need to eliminate, what do you need to delegate, all this stuff, so you can focus on the tasks at hand, the income producing activities at hand, so you can accomplish your goal. And guess what? In that plan, there's always helping other people get to another level. So you really need to focus on doing stuff like this.
Yes. And at the beginning, I was talking about the importance of these books. Start with your why. Critical. Simon Sinek. How to Win and Influence People. Dale Carnegie. This is, if you want to build your business, you want to master this. The GoPro philosophy of how to build your business. A lot of the things that we're teaching when it comes to prospecting, inviting, presenting, third-party credibility, following up, following through. It's all coming from here. In here, Chris and Tammy, Freedom Formula. We have the strategy, how we expand around the world, the challenges, the things we've been through, how we overcome it, the 7 habits of highly effective people. Here's one of the habits I should really recommend for you to really master is seek to understand, then be understood. If our damn governments would just read that damn book, there wouldn't be any wars. Seek to understand first, then be understood. It's amazing how the world just becomes so clear when you understand their point of view and you put yourself in someone else's shoes. So what happens is when you present, if you have that philosophy to understand what they're telling you before you respond to an objections or a comment, you'd be amazed on his response or her response with the fact that they feel you understand where they come from, right? Think and Grow Rich. The 10X rule. I just bought this book yesterday and I'm reading it. This is brilliant, right? So we could go on and on and on here. So the fact here is these are important books, and I'm sure there's thousands of others you can think about, and you have to, on a daily basis, folks, you got to read something. You got to keep evolving.
You got to keep learning. You got to keep reevaluating your business. Otherwise, you're not going to move an inch in 10 years. So you need to evolve. And I congratulate all of you that are part of the Crown Diamond Global Impact, all of you that are part of the accelerator program that made the financial commitment. We understand that that's a big commitment. And if you're following through with the dares, with the assignment, if you haven't done so, it's okay. All the calls are recorded on the Crown Diamond Global Impact. I suggest you go back and listen to them. You want to GPT? I mean, it's on site. They're talking about actually replace. There's an enormous amount of knowledge that will make very in tune with what the world needs to hear. Brilliant, if you're aware of them. So the point is, take action now, not later, not tomorrow, not next week, not once my vacations are done. No, none of that. This is all no. This is not the rich mindset. And I'm not saying you have to burn yourself and at work. This is not what I'm saying, because you also need some time to relax. You need some time to meditate and to empty that cup that's full, to make some space for new knowledge and new stuff, right? I talked about that this afternoon, but the point is, take action now. The information you're getting from our calls or from the sessions that we do tomorrow during the week, from Monday to Friday on the Crown Diamond Global Impact or the Accelerator, for those of you that are part of it, take action now. Don't wait. Do it now. This is absolutely critical. Someone wants information. Oh, I'll call them tomorrow. No, call them now. Unless it's too late. You use your common sense on all that. It is a huge difference. In fact, on the 10X, he talks about that, about people that are always putting off things to tomorrow, And very often, none of these things ever get done. So very important is to take action now attitude. Brilliant.
Unless it's in your schedule and you are actually checking it off because you are following up with them the next day. Yeah. So attitude of gratitude, that's got to be the biggest thing that has got us through in so many situations in our life, is the fact that we are grateful no matter what gets thrown our way. As leaders, we build an international organization. There's always things that are throwing at us. And it's how we handle everything that is important, and just being grateful that we actually have an organization that expands around the globe. And we just wanted to say how much we really appreciate your partnership and your love and your support. And we love you guys. And that's why we keep doing what we're doing. And that's why we keep traveling internationally, so that we can help all of you get to the next level in your businesses. And of course, the relationships, getting a chance to see your families, that's huge. It's really huge for us. And we missed all that traveling. Mind you, we're getting back into it just recently, probably what, a year and a half now, Chris. We're slowly getting back into it. But yeah, can't wait to see all of you at a live Max event somewhere, maybe in the tropical islands or something, when that ends up happening.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I was just telling Joe, the traveling is going to start again. And what's really important is we need to make some noise. And I want to make some virtual noise and let everybody know what's happening, what's going on. There's a lot of stuff that's being implemented and done. You're just not aware of this. Some of you are asking, well, are we turning into this affiliate program? No, it's an extension. I was talking to Joe about this. We are a network marketing company, but we know that only 5%, if that, of the population in the world has been exposed to network marketing. The 95%, that's a lot of folks, right? But they may not be interested in a venture per se, but they might be interested to promoting the link to some people they care about, they know. That's an added source of income for you. And many of you are not aware on how to do marketing and all of these things and promoting a link, but that's not what Max is all about. Max is adding extension, where Max is preparing for all the different
tendencies of growth that are coming, and online marketing and affiliate marketing, it's something right now. It's like a $16 billion industry. Network marketing is like a 260 billion. I mean, it's massive, right? So you don't destroy an elephant for a mouse, but at the end of the day, what's happening is the mouse eventually will grow to another kind of animal, if you know what I mean. which eventually you can have both and earning money in both aspects of things. But we are a network marketing company, and we need to get people to understand that, yes, there's been some challenges with some ingredients, and there's some products were delayed a little bit, but Max is delivering on these things. I don't know, some of you saw the shipments in Toronto with all the blue boxes. So it's all coming together. So that's the end of our session here, folks. It's not a long session. The attitude training is a foundation to everything. Really appreciate you guys. Really, really do appreciate your friendship and your business and your partnership. This is something that matters a lot to us. And Tammy, love this business, and we absolutely love our family, our extended family with network marketing. And I know that many of you know that, if not all of you know that. And so that's the end of my segment, Tammy. So if you want to have a few words before we finish this session.
It's end of the month, and I know everybody has things that they need to do to get done to work on their businesses. So we're gonna just cut it short this evening. Anybody has any questions, we're always available. We're just a message away. So feel free to open up. I just want to, for 1 second, just congratulate the accountability groups. You guys are so awesome. I get up at 7 a.m. because I love you. and to be able to get up and work, and when I don't have to get up early in the morning. I do it because I love working with you, and we have fun. And at the same time, I'm quite surprised on how productive my business is when I put those efforts super early in the morning. So,
and I felt compelled to admit it. I don't love you less because I'm not up at 5 a.m. I'm just a late owl. So I work late, where Tammy is in bed 2 hours before me. So that's kind of the reason why I'm not there, is I am sleeping and I need to catch up on those things. But really,
the 9:30 group, just want to congratulate you guys too, because you guys are really hitting it home. I'm seeing the numbers grow. I do my best to get on this one. It is kind of in between my workout time, so it depends on if I'm able to show up. But yeah, keep up the great work. For those of you who are not part of the accountability, you want to consider this, because it's going to help you create the discipline. Because it's so easy to fall off. It really is. And it's not that easy to get back on again. So, do 1, 2, 3, and you'll notice that you start to get in the groove. I'm telling you, stick to it for a couple weeks, you're in. That's it. You made a decision. So
everybody listen.
Give it a chance, you guys. Yeah.
Have yourself a great evening. It was a wonderful sharing with you this evening, and we'll share with you next week, Monday. What's their session, Tammy, next Monday, that we're working on right now?
Building our list, which is really important.
Building
that
list.
social media
Everybody,
aspect to it. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be adding a lot of the stuff that we're getting from Fraser. So it's not going to be the good old, things we talked about. Things have evolved from the 80s. So we're looking forward to share that with you on the following week. Okay, everybody, have yourself a great rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.
Happy end of the month.